you now have a controversy in North Florida, in Bay County, a Republican stronghold where the election supervisor there decided to allow email voting because you had victims of Hurricane Michael, wanted to make it as easy as he possibly could for people to vote. The problem is that was not included in the governor's executive order to loosen some of the restrictions. So Democrats are looking at this and saying, if you're looking for evidence of illegal voting activity, look to North Florida, not to Southeast Florida. Well, first you had election managers having trouble keeping track of all the ballots flying in, and now they may have trouble keeping track of all the lawsuits flying in. Because when you look at Nelson, you look at Scott, you look at legal women voters, we're now up to, by our count, 9 different lawsuits, and we're just in the first phase of this recount, possibly with much more to come. The Democratic position would be, because of the blunders that exist in Broward County that go way back in time under the leadership of Snipes, who was appointed by former Governor Jeb Bush. She is a Republican appointee. They have qualms with long-running blunders that they say have affected Democrats and Republicans alike. And again, they point to what they think may be either a machine calibration issue or a funky design of a ballot, in which case a race like this one can be easily overlooked. You have continuing woes in Palm Beach County in Southeast Florida, where you have faulty voting machines. Apparently, when they get stressed, they are old, they're aged to the point where they spit out erroneous results, which is causing election managers there to recount votes that had already been recounted. We're calling them the Monty Python machines because you feed them through. It's okay, 1, 2, 5, no, 3. The bad news for Bill Nelson is that he gained absolutely nothing from the machine recount that concluded today. In fact, he lost net votes to Rick Scott. Rick Scott ran up his lead through the first phase of the recount, which leaves Nelson in a position of being the political equivalent of Bruce Willis from Sixth Sense. And that his career is over. He just does not know it yet, and he is playing that out. Broward County happens to be particularly late to starting its recount. It's just getting started because it seems election workers in that county had been bogged down and tied up in just separating pieces of paper so that they would have the right pieces of paper to run through the machines just to get the recount started. And with that, yes, Snipes continues to be the focus of this national debate, and the question up for debate seems to be whether she is corrupt or inept. That's not a place you want to be. If there's any good news there in Palm Beach County, it's that they're not Broward County to the south. And the good news, Tucker, in Broward County is that Brenda Snipes, after all the blunders, said she finally did it today. She finally did something right, that they, after all the hand-wringing, were able to meet the deadline to complete their recount. She said they did it with minutes to spare, and as she celebrated, the bad news is she forgot they had to transmit it to the state, and then they fumbled around with the computer, couldn't figure out how to do it in time. They were 2 minutes late, and as per the law in Florida, the recount results in Broward County got rejected by the state. Voters are keyed into ideological issues. They know the governor well, though he's getting an awful lot of name recognition across the state through earned media in leading the state in storm response. People have already made up their minds.
President Obama just revved up the Democratic convention from the moment he walked on stage. He is wrapping up his speech to the convention as we speak. Take a live look.
It may already be too late.
And there lies the challenge and the mission for Hillary Clinton. She has to inspire progressives who enter this convention a bit discouraged. And what struck me about tonight is that Hillary Clinton pressed many of the same themes that launched her husband, former President Bill Clinton, more than 20 years ago. The new Democrat values of family. You see Hillary Clinton embracing Chelsea Clinton,